the first card you have for your past is the Six of Swords. So yeah, this card's obviously about moving on, moving forward, trying to move from wavy seas, disruption, all of that, into, calmer seas, calmer waters, all of that. And yeah, I think you were moving on from someone at this time. And I'm getting this feeling that moving on from this person was sort of a last resort for you. It was like you didn't really want to do this. You didn't want to move on. And this distancing might not even be the final distance, because you might, what I mean is it might not be the end for you both, because I think you might get together again in the future. I am seeing a lot of backwards and forwards energy around this, and there's more of that to come in the future as well, I think. I hate to say this to you, because I think you were just exhausted by the time you'd gotten to this stage. And, I think you'd given them chance after chance, and you just, they just wouldn't change. It was like, sometimes they'd look as if they were going to change, or they were changing, and then, they'd go right back to, the way they were before. So, I'm just feeling this exhaustion around this. This is really, really exhausting. This is like the final straw. And I think this is about you showing them that you mean business. It's like you've tried to say things to them. You tried this, you tried that, you tried everything. It went on and on and on. And then you were like, right, I just need to show them. So I'm moving away. Goodbye. That's it. I need to show them in a really powerful way that I mean business. So that's what I'm seeing around that. This is still really, really stressful for you, I think. No matter what stage you're at, I think it's very, very stressful. And yeah, I think you're right to be moving on if this is resonating, if this is what you're doing. There are so many ups and downs around this. I keep on seeing this 1 minute there, one way, and then the next minute there, kind of another way. And, it's just exhausting. You just don't know what's going to happen next. So now that you kind of have this separation, this distance, try to at least get some peace for yourself before you make any big decisions around this, if you're at this stage still, because this is in the past, I know. So, try to get some peace inside your own mind. I think they're still on your mind, and I think all these problems are probably still on your mind as well. Because this woman's in this boat and she's getting away, but she's bringing these problems with her, with all these swords that she has in front of her. So, you will get through this. You will feel a lot better. But again, I think you probably will connect with them again at some time in the future in some way. But whoever this is really, really hard to shake off. They're up and down, but you're finally starting to do this. I think this is the beginning of this new phase that you're in. I think I'm really seeing that, even though I am seeing you getting back together again. But I don't think, I'm not seeing it being permanent, because there's no permanency here. It's all backwards and forwards. Anyway, so the next card you have for your past is the Hanged Man. So, yeah, this card can be about a lot of different things. I'm actually seeing sacrifice here. It's like you wanted to be with this person. You wanted to be with the person that they used to be, actually, not the person they turned into. And they changed back and forth a few times, but I don't think they didn't quite go back to the person they used to be in the beginning. And that's the person you missed, I think. I think you missed that person, or you miss the memory of that original person, and that was why it was so hard for you to leave them in your mind and in your heart, because you wanted that person to come back, that old person, that original person. And so this is the sacrifice that you had to make. You just had to leave. You had to distance yourself, and this was for your own sake. It really was, because you had to put an end to this exhaustion. And I think, you had to do this. You knew this, even though your heart, or part of your heart, probably wanted to stay with them. You're kind of always hoping, are they going to change again? Are they going to go back to that old person? So it's a little bit like a battle between your head and your heart going on and on. And I think your head won in the end, at this time anyway. That's what happened. That's what I'm seeing there. So yeah, the last card you have for your past is the High Priestess. So yes, I think this is another reason why I think you found this so difficult. I mean, it's always difficult for anyone to go through something like this, but for you, I think it was even harder because you really feel things. You feel things really, really, really deeply, and you hold on to those feelings. You know, this is really, really hard for you. So I think, you know, it's really hard for you to even try to let go of those feelings. And you know, that's a part of who this high priestess is. You know, she feels things very, very deeply. She also knows things. She knows things that might not be obvious or apparent to other people on a spiritual level, actually. So, you know, and that's how you are. That's how you love. You love on a spiritual level. And I think, you know, it's hard for you to find someone who's able to meet you on that level. So, you know, and I think with this person, you saw a glimpse of that, or you thought that was what you saw in the early days, you know, when you were with this person, but that drifted away, sadly. And then the real them developed and you saw that. And so, you know, yeah, you had to drift away from them. So, yeah, I'm just seeing this again in this card, this up and down, up and down. And I think this person brought you right down into the depths, into the deep sea, and then back up again into the sun, and then right down again and back up again. These were very deep waves. This was a very deep, wavy kind of journey they had you on. I'm just looking at this priestess of stress. You might not be able to see it in this card. I'll just move it up so you can see. Yeah, it looks a bit like waves going up and down, up and down. So that's where I'm seeing that. And again, if this is resonating, you're still in the middle of all of this, take some time out for yourself. Really contemplate things, meditate if that's something you do. You're going to really, really need this time, you know, while you're out of this, to just stand back from all of this, see everything clearly for what it actually is. I hope that all makes sense with you. So the first card you have for your present is the Ace of Wands. So yeah, I think this is the time. This is the time for you to start really, really working on yourself, pushing forward with that. I think not right now, but I think once you've had this quiet time, you've had the meditative time, you've got through that stage, then you go to the planning stage. You're thinking about yourself, what you want to do in your own life, without them, just with you. Now, and I think this is what you're going to start to do at this time. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll never see this person again. I actually think you will see them again. I'm seeing that a lot. I've seen that in the past. I'm seeing that here again. You will see them again. You will meet up with them again. But, you know, whatever happens, whether you do or you don't see them again, or whatever happens in the future, if you focus on what you want and you focus on where you want to be, you'll be in a really, really strong position no matter what happens. So I think you might have actually had some plans in your mind, things that you'd put aside, because I think when you were with this person, you were just exhausted and you just couldn't even begin to start to kind of do any of these things. It was just too much for you. Okay, I have to say I'm really, really feeling, this is very heavy. I'm really feeling this heaviness. So if I'm feeling this, I know that it must have been, you know, a million times more exhausting for you and a million times heavier for you. But yeah, do whatever you can. Take your mind and your focus off them. Put it back onto you. I think you need to start these things that you put aside once, because you don't have anyone to answer to now. You only have yourself to answer to. And, you know, it's not going to be easy to start with, but keep on going. I think you'll eventually recover from this exhaustion, you know, when you've been through this quiet time, and then you can start to push forward with your own agenda and your own life. And that's what I'm seeing happening in this card. So the next card you have, your presence, Temperance. I love this card. This is so, so positive. You know, this can be about alchemy, which is one of my favorite things, you know, creating a positive out of a negative. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to rise up out of this like this beautiful, beautiful angel. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of concentration for you to be able to do this. This angel's really, really concentrating. And, you know, I'm getting this feeling that when you were around this person, You might have been second guessing a lot. You always had this stress around this question mark. What are they going to be like? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Are they going to change? And so you'll have to get used to not having that always in your head as well. And of course, that's a fantastic thing. I think it's a great thing, but it's going to take some time to adjust to that. That's what I'm seeing. But look at the healing in this card as well. These daffodils, they're a beautiful symbol of healing. And, you know, it's springtime, so the sun's coming out on a new day after these kind of cold, dark times where you're stressed and exhausted. And, you know, I think you're always going to have some feelings for this person. I'm seeing that again. And that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to go back to them, or that you're in love with them, or that you're going to be with them or see them all the time or anything. You know, you can love someone in a certain way. You can have fondness for them without being in love with them. And you can love someone without seeing them. So it could be that as well. You might just have them in the back of your mind a little bit as a kind of a certain type of fondness for them. I think you'll always have a little thing there for them. But that doesn't mean you can't move on. That doesn't mean you can't find someone else. That doesn't mean you're going to always be stuck on your feelings with them. You're not going to be. That's not what I'm seeing here. So, yeah, so don't worry about that if that's what you're kind of worried about. So, yeah, the last card you have for your presents, the Four of Wands. So this is fantastic. This is like a progression from the Temperance card where you're rising out of the darkness, and then you come to this Four of Wands, which is really, really fantastic. This is when things are really, really going to start to improve for you. I often see this as the 1111 card. And what I'm seeing here is, you know, if this is all resonating and you're going through all of this healing process, getting your strength back, getting everything into place, you know, with the Ace of Wands, planning, working out where you want to go, knowing what you want. And then when you've done all of that, perfect timing, here we are, the gates are opening up for you, 1111. This is where you can truly realize your dreams, and your dreams, your own dreams, dreams that are yours, not this other person's, not anyone else's, your dreams. This is something you've always wanted to do. You put it aside. Now it's your turn to be in the spotlight and do what you want. I think this is something you might have even hidden from a lot of other people. You might have been a little bit afraid of their reaction. You might have been even a little bit ashamed of it. You know, this might be something that might seem strange to a lot of other people, a bit like tarot. But it might not be that. It could be anything. But it's that kind of thing, something people think is a little bit different or a bit weird. But you know, when you've been through this process, and as you get to these gates, you will not care. You won't care what anyone thinks of it. This is your dream. This is what you want to do. And you know, you can definitely make this into reality for yourself. Step by step, you're going to be able to do this. Now, you could never ever have done this while this person was around you, exhausting you, or in your way, or in your mind. This person was just taking up so much of your energy, and now your energy is going to focus on yourself. So this is so beautiful. This is right place, right time, right when you've healed, right when you're planned. This 1111 is going to show up right in front of you. It's so fantastic. I just love this so much. I so hope this resonates with you. So the first card you have for your future is the King of Swords. So, yeah, this is kind of following on again, because I think I can see why, if this is all resonating with you, I can see why you might have hidden this dream, these ambitions, whatever this is, from a lot of people around you. I'm specifically seeing one person who might be a little bit conservative, a little bit straight up and down, very serious, like this king. And I don't know if this is a parent. I think it might be either a parent or some kind of older family member, someone in authority maybe. And I'm seeing a little bit of competitiveness around this as well. Not that you're competitive, but I think there might be some kind of competitive culture or something like that, maybe in your family or around your family, where, you know, the so-called proper things praised, you know, the proper, you know, being a lawyer, being a doctor, whatever, that kind of things praised, but anything out of the ordinary, anything a little bit different, you know, artist, anything creative or whatever, is kind of frowned upon and looked as if it's kind of down in the competition. So, and it's and all of that kind of thing's put down. So maybe that's why you are hiding this from people. And yeah, I think you used to worry a lot about this. I think especially when you were growing up, I can understand why that is. But you know, you weren't as mature, obviously, you weren't as strong as you are now. But now at this time, you're just not going to care what anyone thinks, which is so, so fantastic. I love that. And, you know, this healing process, I think, is what's going to give you that strength to just go your own way, do your own thing. And I think if you do this, if you do force this, if you keep pushing this and going your own way, which is what I'm seeing in the Ace of Wands, it's all about pushing this, moving forward, taking action. If you keep on doing this, I think eventually they'll come round. Once they see how much happier you are, I think, once they see that you're becoming yourself, that you're doing what you want, they're probably never going to quite understand this thing that you're doing, but they are going to come around at least to knowing that, you know, you're a happier person when you're doing this. So that's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing eventually, you know, in the beginning, they might jump up and down and say things, but I think eventually they'll calm down around this. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the World. So yeah, this is unbelievable. This is so fantastic. This is so beautiful. It's turned into such a beautiful, beautiful reading. Look at how free this woman is. She's floating. She's in the sky. She's so incredibly free. And, you know, you're definitely going to be able to do whatever this is. You're going to be able to finish this. And this is going to feel like a sort of a graduation for you when you finish. And it is sort of a graduation for you because you're kind of graduating from the old you where you're exhausted and you put up with people to how you're going to be now, concentrating on yourself. So yeah, this is going to take some time before you're able to fully, you know, get used to all of this. It's going to be a really good feeling, definitely, but it's also going to feel in the beginning a little bit strange, a little bit foreign to start with, because, you know, this is the World card, and I'm likening this strange new feeling to be kind of entering a strange new world. Or, you know, when you're traveling around the world and you come to another country and, you know, maybe they speak a different language, or everything looks different, or everything's very different, they have different food or something like that. So you come to a new country and you're like, oh, this is all different. I'm not used to this. I have to get my bearings. I'm not used to this. This is all very strange. But then once you get used to it, you really enjoy yourself. You really love this, and you come to love this new place. So that's how you're going to be feeling about this whole process. In the end, this is going to be so, so positive. It's so beautiful. This is beautiful. I love this so much. I'm so happy about this. So yeah. The other thing I'm seeing in this card, because this can be about, you know, coming full circle, coming around to meeting again to where you started. So I think you are going to come into contact with this person again, which is what I've been seeing all through this, really. I don't know what kind of contact you're going to have. I think it might be some kind of closure, coming full circle and then coming around to closure, because I think you are going to meet again. And then I think you are going to eventually, at some time, I don't know when, have some kind of separation again. So that's what I'm seeing there with that. Now, yeah, the next card you have your future strength. So I'll go on to the next card. So yeah, I think when you see this person again, I think they might want to take this a lot further than you want to. They might even want to get back together again. They might want to be good friends again. They want to go further with this than you do, or they're going to. So yeah, because what I'm seeing is you're going to, because you'll have changed so much by the time they see you. You're going to seem so, so interesting to them again. Very, very different. You're going to be so different from the way you used to be. And you are interesting, of course you are. So I'm not seeing you being as interested in them as they are you. I think you're always going to have that little bit of care for them in some way in the back of your mind, because there is an infinity symbol above this beautiful woman's head. So you're always going to have that there. But this is going to be you that calls the shots now. You're going to decide whether you want to take this further, whether you don't want to take this further. You're going to be in the driver's seat now. That's what I'm seeing with this. And I'm getting an overwhelming feeling that you are not going to continue with this. You're going to get this closure and then you're going to go your separate ways again. That's what I'm seeing here. So, you know, I think you're going to be careful about this. I think you're going to let them know carefully. You're going to be quite diplomatic about this, because the world can be about diplomacy, you know, the World Bank and the World Trade Center and all of these, like, diplomatic, the world things. But so you're going to be diplomatic, but yeah, you're going to be determined to do what you want. You're going to be so determined to do what you want. This is such a beautiful reading. I love it so much.